What's going on, guys? God bless you. Carlos here with Serranos Mobile Detail in Dallas, Texas. Thank you so much for joining me in today's video. Today we are working on the notorious Hondas. If you've ever worked with Hondas, you know exactly what I'm talking about. This is a cloth vehicle. Unfortunately, I didn't get like before pictures, really. It was more of, let me get there, get to work on this vehicle. But on today's video, guys, I really want to talk about while I was working with this vehicle, I was talking to my good friend Razul, and he was asking questions on why this, the cost of why we charge so much. And as I was working there, the air mover, this video is really about how this air mover can drastically change your business. Obviously, I've done a video in the past of the AirPod, but really this video is more of, I want to talk to you guys how having this AirPod can drastically, one, speed your time up, two, how you can concentrate more on the concern that it's at hand at that moment. And for this situation, it's the seats. These seats are bad. They were pretty bad, actually. Now we got them where we want them, but without an AirPod, it makes this job so much difficult, right? So what we're doing today is obviously an interior detail. We're gonna clean all the doors, all of that is done. But the concern right now, the main issue that we're having is the seats. That's my main issue. So in this video, guys, I'm gonna talk to you guys about what this AirPod can do for you and how you're able to really transform these interiors just to a better condition. All right, really quickly, just to kind of show you guys where we're at, I've gone ahead and we've already extracted this carpet, but now we are to these seats. This is the, I think, second time we've done the extraction on these seats. If you're new to extraction, if you're new to upholstery cleaning, be ready for Hondas, Toyotas, Kias, Hyundais. They have the crappiest interiors. Unfortunately, I do own a Toyota product, but I hate the cloth seats. And I'm gonna show you guys really quickly right here. I don't know if you guys can kind of see it. You see a little bit of the browning there, right? This seat was, this one here was pretty much like this, but now we got it to where we want. Unfortunately, you see this little stain right there. That looks like some oil base, something fell there in the past. So that's not going away. But right now what I have and what I'm doing is I have this AirPod moving. I don't want to make this video very long for you guys. Hopefully, I just want to explain to you guys how this is going to work. And I hope you guys can hear me because of the air. When you're working on a project like this, on average, when the seats are this bad, on average, your timing, you will probably be at about 5 hours because your eyes and your mind is telling you, I need to hit these seats again. Now, let me just be honest. No matter what you do, the staining of these seats are too far gone. They are so far gone into the foam that no matter what you do, this staining is going to come back. But really the point of this video is for me to kind of tell you guys that there is hope in how to attack it and really eliminating your time from 5 hours to about 2 hours and a half, maybe 3 pushing it by just having this AirPod. If you know your work and you know your materials, you got to see where your concern is. For this scenario, our main issue was the seats. And it sucks, I didn't get befores, but the condition these seats were in, there was staining everywhere. So the issue was the cloth seats, not the carpet. Obviously they had mats, there was light buildup, but if you know how to work your carpet, that is the easiest thing you can kind of clean and get it done. So theoretically in my mind, I did the carpet like a breeze. But the reason I'm taking my time now is because let's just say those 45 minutes, maybe an hour that you might take in extracting, now I can use those minutes onto the seats. By having this AirPod on, Now I'm able to concentrate on really the concern that we have at hand, and it's the cloth. So what I've gone ahead and done is I've already extracted everything, but right now what I'm doing is just pretty much how I was telling my friend is like, at this point we're kind of just BSing this job, right? And I'm not saying BSing because we're cleaning the car, but I'm able to do an interior so quickly that I know my work, that kind of right now is I'm just stalling the process, because now we've been at this car maybe about an hour or so. So now the next 45 minutes that I kind of calculate, I'm spending it on the seats. So what I'm doing is I've extracted, then I put the blower, and this blower already dried these seats. So now I see the concern that we have, which is on the edges. So what I'll do right now again is I'll come back, I'll pre-spray that area, I will agitate that area, extract it, put the blower back on there, and that should do the job, right? And you'll do this on the whole cloth seats. But by having that air mover, it drastically helps your drying time, but you're able to kind of go back at these stains because now they've lifted up and you're able to attack it again. Now, I know a lot of you guys might say, man, I would have just put a steamer to that and dry upholstery. Yes, but unfortunately, sometimes you have to pull out the extractor because you're trying to really remove the majority of the staining. I know some people will say I would have used the PNS product line for the carpet bomber and all that stuff is good. But there's scenarios that even those products probably can't get through, and I get it. You can spray it, steam it, and all of that, and you're good. But it's only on the top surface, so that staining, you're just kind of hiding it, in my opinion. I could be wrong. Again, I don't use those products. I'm a flex line guy. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna just pre-spray these areas, agitate them, and then we'll extract them, and then we'll just continue all around the vehicle. And the last tip before I end this video, when you're working on your Honda mats, or even when extracting mats, you always want to extract to the pattern of the mats. So if you look at Honda mats, the pattern goes pretty much like this, side to side, and it's not up and down pattern. So to get the best of your extraction, you always want to extract to the pattern of your mat. So a lot of you guys, you probably extract like this, up and down. Next time you're working on a Honda, make that mat go sideways, and when you extract like this. And what you're doing right here is you are extracting to the pattern of the way the seams are done. So as you're extracting, you are literally pulling everything from the seam, and you're kind of, instead of working against the extraction, it's working for you. So I don't know if the video can kind of catch it, but you'll see really all that dirt, look at that, just kind of come out. But at the same time, the mat is helping you clean the fibers much better. So instead of going like this, I always pretty much extract side to side, so I can get pretty much better results on the extraction. And as well, your carpet is gonna look much better. You'll get more of that natural finish instead of like that awkward carpet look. So always just side to side, find that pattern that makes your mat look really nice, and then just extract it. And there you go, a nice clean mat. Alrighty, and to finalize this video, I'm about to show you a couple clips of how this vehicle turned out really well. Obviously, when doing interiors, guys, just make sure you tell your customers, like, nothing is guaranteed in the interior world. Even on the exteriors, nothing is guaranteed. I don't know, I always kind of get scared when I see detailers post, you know, guaranteed that this will look new, and I'm just like, oh my god. But nothing is guaranteed, right? So you'll see some clips kind of the afters. You will see some staining kind of on the interior. But again, you always have to remember when doing interiors, it's all about the time that has been kind of left untouched. That plays a huge factor, right? How long has this staining been there? You know, how long did this product or water kind of went down to the foam? All that plays a huge part. But having the right products definitely makes this a little bit easier. Will it remove all the staining? No. You know, there are products out there that can help, but to an extent. At the end of the day, you're working with fibers, and I've said it over and over, you don't want to be stressing the material out, because once you start stressing the material out, now you're gonna have kind of like the fibers start lifting off. You'll have light shedding in a way. So no matter the vehicle that you work on, just be careful. Agitate to an extent. Don't just because you see that stain there, I'm gonna hit it again, and you just keep stressing that material. But overall, I think this vehicle turned out really well. It's always good, obviously, when I get to see my good friend Razul. So it's always fun, right? So even though I was working, it was really more of just seeing my brother, you know. So again, shout out to Razul for always giving me an opportunity to clean his vehicle. This one actually is his dad's, so shout out to Dad. He actually cooked some food for me, so Razul was like, hey, you gotta come inside and eat. So we're gonna be going inside to eat some really delicious food. But if you've been looking into getting a Dri-Pod, before I end this video, well, I should have ended this video a long time ago, but if you've been planning or thinking of getting a Dri-Pod, I highly recommend you get one. They're very affordable. I think probably like $100, $109 sometimes. You don't technically have to get the Dri-Pod that I have. You can get a bounce house inflatable blower. Those work as well, but that will drastically help you kind of work a little bit faster. That way, if you need to come back and attack that stain again, guess what? The stain by then has already lifted. It's already dry, that you can feel confident. You can go back in there, spray with your pre-spray again, agitate it, extract it, put the blower back on there. But the Dri-Pod really helps you in accelerating your drying time. Today, we're around 50 degrees, so it's a little bit cold. If you don't have a Dri-Pod, it becomes very hard for you as well as a detailer. Being mobile, kind of, I would feel bad telling the customer, hey, your car's ready, and they touch the seats and they feel damp. It's not gonna dry, especially on a day like today. We got overcast, no sun. So having a Dri-Pod 1 just helps you accelerate your drying time, but as well, it helps you kind of concentrate in those more stubborn areas when you need it. So putting that Dri-Pod on those areas after you clean it will speed the drying time up while you're working on other upholstery, right? You can come back after, hit it again, put that Dri-Pod again. And that's kind of what we did today, is cleaned it, put the Dri-Pod, and then I continued working. And then I said, you know what? I still see that stain. I came back, cleaned it, put the Dri-Pod, and it helped really remove a lot of the staining. So I hope this video kind of helped you guys out with the Dri-Pod tip as well as the mats tip. Always look at your mats when doing them, because you'll get to see the pattern, how the mat was kind of constructed, and follow the path. That'll give you a better cleanup, even a better presentation as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching it. As always, God bless you guys, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.